Hello and welcome to another episode of Bullseye on Bullying. I'm your host, Bullseye the Clown. Now you may notice that I didn't do an episode for like 2 or 3 weeks. Oh yes, I haven't done one. I've been slacking. Yes, I have. I've been slacking. But there is a reason for the slacking, and that is what I want to talk about today. On today's episode of Bullseye on Bullying, it's going to be a very serious episode. And I know clowns are supposed to be fun and wacky and great and funny. But this is a very serious episode because I would like to talk about the devastating effects, side effects basically, that bullying has on people. And it's just not while you're in school. So say you're getting bullied in school. It's just not while you're in school. Sometimes these side effects linger for years and years. And so that is what I wanted to talk about today. The devastating side effects of bullying. Now, we're coming up on a very festive time of year with Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And then my birthday is just right around the corner. And with all these celebrations, you would think that everybody would be fun and festive and happy, but that's not always the case. You'll see, people who have been bullied sometimes do not feel very festive around this time of the year because when you're normally getting together with friends and family, sometimes people who have been bullied don't have a lot of friends and they don't necessarily get along well with a lot of their families. You'll see, one lasting effect that bullying has is that the inability to trust people and to make friends easily. We don't make friends easily because we don't trust people. When people say they want to be our friends, we think that they only want to be our friends because they are up to something or that they're going to bully us or they're going to be mean to us. And I have to admit that I'm going to be 50 next year. Oh, in January, just a few months away, I'm going to be 50 years old. I know it's hard to believe I'm going to be 50. But the fact is, I have been on this earth for 50 years, and I probably only have about 5 or so true friends. And even with those 5 true friends, they are in other states or in other cities, and we don't ever get together very much. And we do talk like via Facebook or Twitter or all of those other social media things. But if I were to throw a party, nobody would show up. So I think that's what attracted me to being a clown, was the fact that I could be everybody's friend and I could be a friend to those who don't have a friend. And so that's why I decided to become a clown, so that I could go into children's hospitals and orphanages and senior centers and be a friend to those people who don't really have a friend, at least for that particular moment in time. So for the 15, 20, 30 minutes that I may be there, I see them and they are my friend. And I truly do enjoy visiting people and making friendships that way. But these are not people that will probably continue to contact me or to talk to me. And that is just because it is the way some bullied people react, is that they just have this inability to make lasting friendships, and they kind of put themselves into what I call a social isolation. And sometimes, believe it or not, it is an isolation of their own design, because we just have this very untrusting attitude, or this very untrusting soul and heart, that we just can't trust people because we think people are out to hurt us and to bully us. One of the things that I used to do, because I didn't always have friends around, I used to go to concerts. And I used to see famous people, and I used to go backstage and I would meet these famous people because that made me feel important. At least for that moment in time, I felt like they were my friends. So I would meet people like Barbara Mandrell, who some of you probably don't know because I'm old. Yes, I'm very old, and so some of you watching may not know who Barbara Mandrell is, but I used to go to all of her concerts, and I'd go backstage and meet her. And her sister Louise Mandrell, yes, she was also a singer and was on a TV show, and so I used to meet her. And they had a third sister, yes. Her name was Earlene, and I even went backstage and I met her at a couple shows. And I always wanted to be the fourth Mandrell sister. Unfortunately, I'm a boy, and so I can't be a Mandrell sister, and I couldn't even be a Mandrell brother. They didn't adopt me, so Oh well. But other people that I met were like Kelly Clarkson, and I met Olivia Newton-John and Donnie and Marie Osmond, and so that was this kind of obsession that I had when I was younger. Is that I felt if I met a lot of these people, that somehow that would make me more important and more likable, and more people would want to be my friend. And probably people did want to be my friend, and it was probably my fault. My fault was that I probably didn't become friends with them because I thought they were up to something and they only wanted to be my friend because I like these famous people. So it was kind of one of those catch-22 things, you know? But the truth is, when you are bullied over and over by classmates or bosses or coworkers or even your friends and family, you become very selective on who you allow into your little close inner circle of friends. And so sometimes that's what happens. You don't let them in. And what happens? You become depressed and you become alone. And that, my friends, is where I have been for the last couple of weeks. Not that I've been really, really depressed, but I just didn't feel like getting on the YouTube and doing a show. And I'm thinking about the upcoming holiday season, and my dad passed away a couple of years ago, and we used to get together with all of our family, and now a lot of my family has passed away, or we live in other states and we just don't get together like we used to. And so it's kind of a downtime. So that's why I make sure that I spread cheer with other ways, and I insert myself into other people's holidays. Hey, when you're a clown, you could do things like that, right? You could be funny and festive in other ways. So that is why I haven't been around. I've been kind of a little wonky, as I like to say. So I've been a little wonky lately, and I haven't been doing my duties and being on my show like I should. But I'm getting better. I will get better and start being on my show more and more. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be almost 50 years old. And can you believe in almost 50 years, I have not really ever had a birthday party where I would invite friends over or friends would gather to give me a birthday party. And one, that was because I didn't really have a lot of friends. And two, whenever I did feel like I had some friends surrounding me, I didn't feel like they would come to my birthday party, so I never invited them, or I never had a birthday party, or even told them when my birthday was, so that I did have a birthday. So in 50 years, I've never had a real birthday party with a bunch of friends. And yes, of course, my family used to get together. My family would get together, and we would have a party with my mother and my father and my aunts and my uncles sometimes. I had a graduation party when I graduated from high school, but no real down-to-earth birthday parties. I do have a pet. I have a little dog, and I've always had a little dog, and for me, I guess that has been my friend. That's how I get my friends. And you'll see, like, behind me, I have, I have like a little moose back there, and I have a chicken, and I I have a lot of stuffed animal friends and puppet friends. Why? Because they always like me, and if they don't like me, I make sure that they like me. And am I saying all this to be depressing and to be kind of a stick in the mud? No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you for a couple of reasons. The first reason I'm telling you all of this stuff is because I want you to know how the mind of a person who has been bullied works. Sometimes they just are not trusting. It's not that they don't want to be your friend. They really do want to be your friend. But they're just very trepidatious, and they really don't want to put themselves out there and to be vulnerable to you for the fear that perhaps you will break their friendship off, or you will break their trust, or you will betray them in some way. And so that is one of the reasons I'm telling you all of this. And the other reason I'm telling you this is, if you have ever bullied someone, or you are thinking about bullying someone, or you're currently bullying someone, I want you to know that what you do to them now leaves a lasting effect on them the rest of their lives. It may not be of any consequence to you once you grow up, or now that you're grown up, you may not even think about the people that you've bullied, but know that they do think about you, and that they are still suffering even all these years later after you have bullied them. So be very careful what you say to friends and family, your co-workers, even your classmates at school. Be very careful what you say to them, because although you may not really mean it to be mean and bullying. It's all on how they take it. And so a lot of people who have been bullied have what I call a really bad self-esteem, and which means that they feel like they don't live up to, what they're supposed to. I'll be quite honest with you. I thought by the time I was 50, I would have this giant house, and I would be, that I would be this famous actor on television in the movies, and I would be a huge movie star, and everybody, millions and millions of people would love me, and that I would be well set in my career, and that I would be all over the face of the world. Ha! Boy, was I wrong. And two things happen when people are bullied, actually. One thing that can happen to that bullied person is they can become uber super successful. Yes, like Lady Gaga. She was bullied when she was younger, and I don't know if you've ever remembered from like Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent, Susan Boyle. She was bullied and went on to make millions of records and sell millions and millions of records and make millions of dollars. Both of those are very, very successful, but they are the rarities a lot of times. There are millions and millions of people who have been bullied who have not quite lived up to the expectations that people have put on them, because they don't believe that they can. They don't believe that they have the ability. And when pitted against somebody who's about the same talent as they are, they kind of cower away, and what ends up happening is the other person gets the promotion, or the other person gets the record deal, or the other person gets the book deal, or the other person's the more famous clown. Yes, I could be Ronald McDonald if I wanted to, but no, I couldn't. Ronald McDonald was way before my time. He came out way before I was even born. Yes, I think so. I hope so. But so I'm just kind of explaining to you how the mind of a bullied person works. The best revenge, seriously, the best revenge you can get on a bully is to become super successful, is to be able to block out all of that internal noise and that internal fears and the self-doubt and all of that stuff that you have, to turn all of that off. And as they say, dance like nobody's watching, or sing like nobody's listening, and laugh like nobody can hear you. Those are the things we have to do in order to become successful. So, if you have been bullied, you have two things to do from this point on. You can let the bullies win, and you can let the bullies kill all of your hopes and your dreams and your inability to make friends, and to keep you depressed, and to keep you having a low self-esteem. Or, like I mentioned before, you can block out all of that noise, and you can get your self-confidence back, and which I will help you with. If you continue watching my show, I will give you some tips on what you can do to improve your self-confidence. And you can become super successful like Lady Gaga or Susan Boyle or any of the other slew of entertainers and famous people who have been bullied and still went on to do great and amazing things. You can also become super successful by becoming a friend to one and all. The choice is actually yours. Yes, it is. So if you found some value in this video, please hit the subscribe button down below, and you will be notified the very next time I release a new video, which won't be as long as this was this last time. And if you know anyone who would benefit from seeing this video, forward this video onto them and tell them to subscribe to my channel too, because I would definitely help them. And I know that we're coming up onto a very trying time with the holidays coming up, and I know that we're not going to be able to travel and families not get together. So if you know of anybody who needs a friend, or somebody who would like me just to drop in via Zoom or Facebook, and just say hello and Merry Christmas and whatever it happens to be, as always, contact me. You can leave me a message here on YouTube, or you can email me at bullseye@bullseyetheclown.com. You can visit me at bullseyetheclown.com, or you can even visit me on Facebook. Just look up Bullseye the Clown on Facebook, and I would be more than happy to drop in on your friends or family members during this particular trying time with the holidays coming up. As always, be good to each other until I see you again, and thank you for watching this episode of Bullseye on Bullying. Until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.